everybody back to Boost to Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Welcome everybody back to Boost to Motion, guys, and today I've had 6 months with my 2019 E63s, and I want to give you guys an update review of all my top likes of owning this car in the last 6 months. So before I get into the video, shout out to my Boost to Motion family. I know you guys have already hit the like button. Thank you guys for your support. And if you're new to the Boost to Motion channel, well, I'm Boost to Motion. I'm a Nissan enthusiast, car enthusiast, Mercedes enthusiast too, but also I report the news. But in this video, we're going to just do a quick review on my top likes. So guys, let's jump into it. I like to keep things right off the head because it's the most honest and open, and plus, I know you guys like the polished look, but let's just keep it honest. The first thing that I like about this car after owning it for 6 months is the all-wheel drive system. Now, a lot of people don't understand and appreciate what a good all-wheel drive system does. The reason why I say this is this car makes over 600 horsepower. And in my other cars, my Q50, Q60, were making good, decent power for themselves, right? But the biggest thing that would always hinder them is with all that torque, the cars would spin a lot. It would spin, it would lose control, and it was definitely something that continued to turn me off over time, right? So once I got this car and knowing that it has a good all-wheel drive system, I can launch, I can take the car, I can take the turns very good, and it has great handling for what it is. But that is all thus because of the all-wheel drive system. So that's my first thing saying, because if you ever own any older AMGs, I had a 2015 C63 W205. Now that car was rear-wheel drive, and the one big hindrance of that car that it needed was an all-wheel drive system. I would have kept that C63 if it had an all-wheel drive system, but it didn't. So I had to get rid of it, and I got a W213 E63s. Number 2, V8. I know you guys have heard reviewers say this already, but I have to personally say it. V8s are going extinct, and this is one of the last all-wheel drive cars out there that are made on the market with a V8 out there. So knowing that we're going more to hybrid systems with smaller displacement V6s and inline 4 cylinders with turbos, it's now that you're not going to see cars like this. The next W214 E63 is going to be an inline 6 single turbo hybrid vehicle. I'm surprised they didn't choose to keep the V8 because the GT63 is still having the V8 with the hybrid system, but this car won't have it. So it's getting downsized, just like the C63 got downsized from a V8 to a 4-cylinder turbo. So that's one of the best things, and I love the sound of torques. I love the sound of the V8, man. You guys are gonna love it so much, and it has a special place in my heart. I've always had V6 motors my whole life. I had one V8, it was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I always loved the sound and the torque and the power delivery of a V8. So that's the second thing. Number 3. You won't be able to see it on video right now, but I have the massage seats on. Whenever I drive this car, I put on the massage seats. Like, you know when there's a feature that you guys like, oh, that's cool, but you never really use it, right? Like, some cars come with those features and you never really use it. Well, these are one of the features that I use. I use the massage feature because I'm going on a kind of a long drive right now, but even if I'm just regularly driving, I throw the massage seats on. It massages the back for you. Not a vibration feeling. It's more of like you feel a bunch of like hands pushing against your back or your lower butt, which is nice. But I love that feature. The next that I like is the ventilated seats. So if you guys are a big guy or the seats are too tight for you, you can always put on the ventilated seats, and that would actually cool up a lot of the areas in case you have any back sweat or lower sweat, which is actually a complete plus. Now, some of these features are very simple that you can get on most other vehicles, like even most regular American vehicles may come with ventilated seats too. So these are just my personal likes that I like about this car, even though they're pretty much standard on some of these cars. But even then, some C classes don't even have that. So it's one of my quick likes for my lifestyle. Now, another positive I like is because this is an E63s, the bolstering, right? These pads on the side, you can customize and adjust it to hug you. So it'll either be wider or come closer. And it's active bolstering. So when you start making a turn, it would inflate the side that you're turning against. So if you turn right, the left one will start inflating. If you want to turn left, this one will start inflating. So it can keep you hugged into your seat because it's active, like it's as if you're going to a racetrack. So I love that sports feature in this seats. Now I do have the comfort seats. I don't have the race seats, so I don't know if the race seats do this stuff. I would assume it does, but maybe it doesn't. But I know that the comfort seats usually have a bit more tech into it, which actually makes more sense. The next couple of things that I personally like about owning this car is I'm kind of weird about it, but I actually like the 4-door calmness. Now, some people would sit there and say, well, it's an E63, it should be a lot more standout-ish, right? And this car really doesn't stand out. Like, it's compared to like a regular E300, E350, like even the newer ones, you'll confuse a newer E350 front end to E63s from older E63s all the way up until like 2020, 2021. You'll confuse it because it's like Mercedes used that bumper as like a template for the non E63X's E63s moving forward, right? Because they changed up the whole front end in 2021, 2022. So I peeped that, I understand it, but I think that's still a positive in my book because it's still an aggressive front end. It still blends in quite well, and I like the inconspicuous look. My car is wrapped matte white, and no one really knows it's an E63s. I have it fully debadged, so I've been in the traffic, and no one pays me any attention. But that may be a negative to some people because if you're spending a lot of money on this type of car, you want it to stand out. But Mercedes don't make crazy colors or anything like that. The next that I like about this car is it goes along with the V8 sound, but it snaps, it pops. It's not as loud as like the 2018s or even the older AMGs, but it still has the popping noise from the end. And if you do choose, and let me move forward, if you do move forward that you want to end up getting, let's say, pardon me guys, and moving forward, if you guys want to get a tune and modify this car, you can actually adjust it so that this car snaps, crackles, pops a lot louder, and so that you guys can enjoy that noise. I love that. I love that feeling. I love the snap, crackles, and pops. Now, my car actually does have a couple of mods to it. It does have diverter valves or blow-off valves, as you would say. So you'll hear the blowing noise. So I do like that this car makes so much noises. You'll hear the V8. You'll hear the V8 from the motor. You'll hear the V8 from the exhaust. You'll hear the crackles from the exhaust. Then you'll hear the blow-off. And in the future, I'm probably going to get intakes because I just want to pay a little bit more attention just to the sound thing. I love the sound thing. I want to be able to enjoy my car, enjoy the sound of my car. Because it is an E-Class, I've driven a lot of Mercedes, so there was always a certain amount of quietness that the car has had. But this car, particularly, compared to the C63, of course, it's quieter. It is just a lot quieter, and the cabin space is a lot quieter. And for this car to have so much power, it's muffled a lot, so it's not disturbing the police. It's not making everyone pissed and annoyed because of the noise it makes. It's so docile, and I love that feature. That's why I said I like that this car is more low-key based on the looks, but also I like that it's low-key also based on the sound. But if I wanted to get onto it, then the noise is there when I need it. I just pop it in sports, or I could just press the button for the exhaust flaps and I would open it up and it'll be a lot louder. Now, for another like that I want to give you guys is the handling of this car. Remember, this car comes with air suspension, right? So once you put into sports or plus mode, the car will lower. And also, if you want to modify the car, you can actually lower it with a lowering module like my car. What I gotta say is, because this car feels like it handles like its own coilovers, for a car being 4,500 pounds, which is on the heavier side, this car handles well. Some of the places that I took it, that I drove with it, I was completely shocked how well balanced this car is. It blew my mind. I was actually pretty shocked because I couldn't believe it. So I would say that, because people could just say, well, it's an AMG, it's supposed to do that. No. When you get into like these heavier like Hellcats, E63s, even M5s, include some of those cars, you'll be very shocked to see that these cars are ridiculously heavy and they're well balanced and well poised, because you're supposed to be able to take these to a track. Not saying these are supposed to be race cars. Definitely not. It's a big, luxurious car, but if you want to go hang out with the lighter cars on some track, it can take the abuse. It could go through its own paces, and that's another thing positive that I do like about this car. Now, we're almost pulled up to the end on some of the more of the likes for the car, because I'm going to make a second video which is going to be my top dislikes, and I think the top dislikes are going to be more favorable and make a better video, because the likes are always going to be what reviewers say. They like this about the car, they like that about the car, they this and that, and honestly, you want to know what the dislikes are, the things that you dislike the most. So the last couple things I would say personally for this car, excuse me guys, I'm sorry, is the trunk space. It's usually how German cars come, but if you're coming outside of German cars, you'll appreciate the additional trunk space. And I've had Infinitis, Nissans back in the day, and they're pretty good, but the fact that I can get a lot of additional trunk space is really big to me. I like additional trunk space. I like storage areas. All right. So all in all, out of all the likes, that's the stuff that really I fell in love with. It's most of the similar common things that most people would usually say about the vehicle. And I mean, yes, there are a couple little quirks, like the digital dash is nice. It's cool, it's customizable, but those things aren't like things that I'm like, oh my God, I love this. I like it, but it's not nothing I really want to say in video. I want to say the things that I like, that I enjoy using every day in the vehicle, that pretty much I get much suited, and I'll continue to enjoy. Like, I love the fact that I'm sitting in the seat and it's ventilated, it's massaging, and it's bolstering me. And if I ever want to get on it, it's going to try its best to protect me, if you know what I mean. But as a daily driver, this is a very comfortable car to drive in comfort mode. And that's where I'm going to end this video and say we're going to move to the dislikes video, because just like I said, I enjoy the comfort part. There's going to be a second part to this video. So guys, you can add me at boostinmotion.g, Facebook, boostinmotion@gmail.com. I really appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. Definitely check some of my older videos with the E63s. I definitely have done some modifications to it. I'm going to make a playlist for this car too, and all the playlists for my older previous cars, so you can check it out, from my Q50s, my Q60 to my C63 and my E63s. So outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good day. Thank you. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boost in Motion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.